Hi there, it's Mr. McTavish, and this is the first in our series of Arduino tutorials. So this is Tinkercad, tinkercad.com, and you can access it by going to that website. You can set up a free account, or you can use a school account. In my class, you would have gotten your nickname to use to get in. First off, they always name it something. I always try to ask you to put your student number followed by the name of the assignment. So in this case, the assignment is Blink. This is the first in our tutorials. So over on the right here, we have our different components, and we're going to start off with a breadboard. And you just click on the breadboard and then click on the screen, and that brings it in. We are also adding an Arduino. So I'm just going to bring that in. There we go, took a moment. We are also going to add an LED and a resistor. And that should be all the things that we need. So a couple things with doing this. Number one, the reason we're using the breadboard is because in the real world, you can't just hold wires together and make the electrical connections. So a breadboard is a really easy way to make these kind of circuits, and you can connect different things and you can quickly see if they work and then move on, fix it if they don't. And once you have something that works, that's when you would solder everything together and make a complete circuit. So on the Arduino, we have a bunch of different pins. I'm clicking on the ground pin here and moving up to the black rail. So this rail, the minus sign, indicates that it's connected to ground. And I'm going to set the wire to black just so that it is consistent. And you can see I double clicked here just to add a little bend in the wire. And I like the way they do the bends because it's actually realistic. That way we can see things easily. So there is our wire. We are going to then add in our LED light and just drag it over here. Now with the LED light, you can see when you hold your mouse over the legs, one of them is the cathode and one is the anode. So the cathode is what we connect to the negative. And I am adding a wire that goes from the rail and to this column. And the idea is everything in this wire, you can see all the green circles, these are all connected on the rail. So this is a way I can connect, and the reason I'm doing it this way is because I may want to add more LED lights later on, and I only have 3 ground connections on my Arduino. So by doing it this way, I can create a series circuit so that they're all wired up to the same ground. So here's my cathode, so the electricity, there's the ground, it goes to here, goes to the cathode, and then comes out in the anode. And LED lights, electrons can only flow in one direction, so this we need to set to a positive. So I'm going to use the resistor. You'll notice that the resistor, the default is 1 kilo ohm. That's much too high for what we are going to do. We're going to set that to 220 ohms, and I can see based on the colors, red, red, brown, gold, that it is 220, and in my class we go over how to read resistors. So I'm just going to drag this over and I'm going to drop it right there, and now that's connected to the anode and it comes out here, and I'm going to connect this wire to pin 13, and I've got a red LED light, so I'm going to use a red wire for this. So there we go, I have my connections and everything set up. So that's my circuit. Now I need to look at the code. So the code is very simple. It defaults automatically to this code. So set built-in LED to high. The built-in LED is this little light on the Arduino that's marked L. And that happens to be wired to pin 13. So that's what's a bonus. We can see this run. Wait 1 second, set built-in LED to low. So high will send 5 volts of electricity, low will send 0 volts. So for the 5 volts, that will light up the LED. The 0 volts, it'll turn it off. And wait 1 second. And if you look at the text version of this code, you can see that this code happens to run in the loop. And the idea is, in an Arduino, the setup code runs when the Arduino is powered on, and then the loop runs, and this will just continue to run. So we should see the light blinking on and off when we run this. We click Start Simulation. If we see it working, then the LED light works and lights up. I just want to show you, I mentioned 220 ohms for this. If you accidentally had something much higher resistance, if you run it, you will see that the LED light's not going on because there's too much resistance coming from the resistor. And that is a common problem, is forgetting to set the resistor value. The other thing is that if you have your ground connected to your cathode and then your resistor connected to your anode, that's another area. And another trick, if you run it now, you'll see it's not going to run because I don't have a complete circuit. I didn't line things up. So those are all common problems, and it's a matter of tracing that everything's connected properly and that you have your code set up properly and that you have the right resistor value for it. Have a great day.